Today is my 26th birthday, and over the past 413 days, I've released a YouTube video every single week, resulting in 59 uploads, without missing a beat. How about that for consistency, huh? Pretty cool if you ask me. But how did we get here? How did the Buckingham show become a thing? Who is this guy with this mustache and the long hair, going around, sometimes acting like a fool? Well, for those that didn't know, I used to be an elementary school art teacher. That's right, at one point I was a consummate professional, teaching the youth, teaching the children how to act right. Would you believe that? Well, I think we should talk about that today. Have a little nostalgia session on the Buckingham show, because it's not often we get to do this. You know, have a sit down, talk, just me and you. We don't always get to do that. So we're gonna do that today. Have a good old conversation. Get down to the nitty gritty of why I became a teacher, why I quit teaching, and how my YouTube channel came to be. So let's begin with my first interaction with art, the subject that I ended up teaching. My first memory of actually liking art all started here at Linton Springs Elementary School. I remember being in some creative writing art class of some sort where we had to write a poem, and I was really into it. I still have some of my poems. Let's read some of those here. A dream is a door to a different world, through time and space, a journey to take. Also, here's another. Free me from this nightmare that is spread upon us all. It has darkened the world before nightfall. Now, I don't know what kind of weird, introspective, metaphysical shit I was on when I was 8 years old, but I think I had problems. I think I was facing some kind of existential dread. Seems like I was kind of a messed up little kid. But anyways, I wrote some poems and I entered them into a contest where I ended up winning first place and got like published in this book or some shit. It was cool. I remember being really excited about it, and I was like, yay, I love art. I'm good at writing, even though looking back, the poems kind of suck. But at the time it was cool. All right, it was cool for me. And it all started here, beautiful Linton Springs. At Sykesville Middle School, I used to draw little cartoon characters everywhere. I'm telling you, I drew these bastards on the side of my homework, on my notes, on the back of my tests, everywhere. I got bananas, carrots, bang, 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 bang. It was the best. I love drawing cartoons. And through 6th, 7th, and 8th grade, I never really stopped drawing. Even when I got in 8th grade and started partying, smoking that shit, you know what I mean? Finger blasting other middle schoolers and all that, I was still drawing, you know what I mean? I got my one hand up in some young lady and my other hand on my pencil, drawing some cartoons. I was a big time drawer. Then I graduated middle school and I went to Century High School here behind me. And this is when I started to realize that a teacher can really make or break a class, especially art class. I was like, man, when I have class with X teacher, it's hell. And when I have it with the other teacher, it's actually fun. So this made me kind of want to become a teacher because I was like, they could really make a positive impact in the world. Then my junior year, I signed up to go to this kind of magnet school thing called the Carroll County Career and Tech Center, where I enrolled in the video production program because I wanted to learn how to edit videos and stuff. And the very first assignment we had to star in, film, and edit a music video for any song we wanted. We could pick any song, our favorite song, whatever we wanted. And it freaked me out so bad to think about being in front of the camera that when I heard about that assignment, I literally dropped out of the course and ended up transferring to print production. And in that print production class, that's where I learned how to use Adobe Photoshop, Adobe Illustrator, and I created my first comics ever. Here are some of the comics, check them out. Bang, pause if you want to look. Here they are. When I went back to Century full-time for my senior year, I enrolled in AP Art. In this AP Art class, we got to do essentially whatever we wanted to pick, so I chose more comic strips. So I believe I made 12 comic strips for AP Art my senior year. Here they are. Bang, boom, whop, ding, pause if you wanna, but I'ma keep it moving. So here they are, check it. And after having this collection of comics, I would always go around and show all my friends like, hey, look what I made. Try to make them laugh, try to get a reaction. It was always weird, dark humor comics. And then by the end of my senior year, I was voted most artistic, which was celebrated with this incredibly cringeworthy photo with my then girlfriend, where I'm embracing her like some kind of child. And that was fun for me. I was happy. It was cool. I loved art, and by this time I was pretty much dead set on being an art teacher. So after I graduated from high school, I went to the University of Maryland, Baltimore County, aka UMBC, where I signed up to be an art student. But you know how college works, you got to do 2 years of a bunch of bullshit before you can get into the department you want. And then within that department, I wanted to do animation, so I had to do a year of art bullshit before I could actually do a few classes of actual animation. But you know, that's just how it goes. So when I was an underclassman and I was taking all my prerequisites, I started doing graffiti, and I would paint my little cartoon characters on train bridges and rocks and walls. And for a while I was like, I'm going to be a graffiti writer. That's what I thought. Pretty unrealistic, but I thought it anyways. And around that same time, my little poems came back. I started recording hip-hop music. I was a hip-hopper, big rap man. Did you know that? I actually started this channel to release my music. The first things I ever uploaded on this channel were hip-hop songs. Flash forward to my junior year of college, where I first began taking actual art classes, and I remember I was taking this class, Intro to Film, and my teacher, Sarah Sharp, I don't even know if I can say her name, but I'm saying it anyways, this big, fat, mean lesbian bitch. We had to do this assignment where we had to make a sketch video of any kind. It just had to be any video where we were putting it together, writing it, filming it, editing it, all that. And I made a video called The Train Track Date Shack. And Miss Big Fat Bitch, Sarah Sharp, didn't like it. She didn't like it so much that she gave me an F. She literally told me to never do sketch comedy again. Said I shouldn't film anything ever again. No one would find it funny except my friends. And that, yeah, it was incredibly offensive. And she failed me. She gave me an F on that assignment. And I lobbied to redo it. And I just put together some shitty little crap video. Some little piece of crap that wasn't offensive. And then I got an A on it. So that's what art school was like. I mean, art school was a bunch of bullshit all the time. Definitely special shout out to Sarah Sharp. Dumpster woman. Anyways, my senior year of college is when I actually began to animate things.
Hey there, little bud.
Hey, yo.
Hello.
I sense a female's presence.
I need my lotion.
I was really into 2D hand-drawn animation like Don Hertzfeldt, if you know who that is. I also really like Mike L. Mayfield and Psychic Pebbles. And all the animations I would complete, I ended up posting on my YouTube channel. And in the back of my head, I was really hoping, like, God, that'd be great if they could just get some traction and I could just animate full-time instead of having to go to graduate school. But of course that didn't happen. So 6 days after graduating with my bachelor's degree, I started my master's program. So right off the bat, when I was taking classes for my Master's of Arts in Education, I hated it. It was ridiculous. It was like everything revolved around critical race theory and privilege and religion. And it was like they were reforming our thoughts, teaching us how to think, not teaching us how to teach. It was not enjoyable at all. But I just kept telling myself, it's just a step along the path to become a teacher. You know, I'll have one more year of doing stuff I don't want to do, and then I'm going to be a teacher, and I'm going to get paid, and I'm going to be happy. And that's really what I thought. After my graduate classes were finished and I completed 134 unpaid days as a art intern, I received my master's degree. The day of my graduation, I received a phone call from Montgomery County Public Schools offering me a job as an elementary school art teacher. I had received my dream job. I was jazzed. So I signed up to be a pre-K through 5th grade elementary school art teacher in Montgomery County. I was split between 3 different schools. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, I would go to one school where I had to do art on a cart, which essentially means my entire classroom is on this little cart with wheels that I'd have to roll around to all the other teachers' classrooms to teach art in there when they're on their break. On Thursday and Friday, I was at 2 other different schools, bringing me to a total of 3 schools that I'd have to alternate between each week. Here's my art cart. Right here, my art cart. I would roll around to people's classrooms. The joy of being an art teacher wore off just about immediately, because I realized these kids were not going to fucking listen to me. I'm rolling around this stupid art cart from class to class. I gotta go out to the portables, the wheels are popping off and shit, my stuff's tumbling into the grass, kids are laughing at me. There's zero repercussions for these children. I mean, I'm having kids spit in my face, and I'm sending them outside of the classroom, and within 5 minutes they're back in my class with a computer playing games, like mocking me and stuff on their computer. I'm playing games, nothing you can do about it. And there's literally nothing I can do about it. It's absolutely insanity. There's no lunch detention. No in-school suspension. I can't take 5 minutes of these kids' recess. So all they wanted us to do was positively reinforce them. There was no negative reinforcements. So if a kid is standing on a table and he's jumping up and down, I can't say, hey, get off the table, big guy. I have to say, It would be really nice if you could take a seat. I would really enjoy it if you would take a seat. Which doesn't work. I mean, who responds to that? No kid that's jumping on a table is going to respond to that. You got to tell him, hey, get the fuck off the table, you little reject. You know, something like that. Not exactly, but you get what I'm saying. You got to be stern with the kids. So the lack of consequence was a problem from day one, and they wanted me to call these kids' parents to let them know how they're behaving, because that was one of the ways we could handle it. Since we couldn't take away their recess, there was no negative issues with the kids. You couldn't get negative with the kids, so you had to call their parents. And of course, the parents acted like I was singling their child out, like I got some kind of weird, sick joy from staying after work and calling them on the phone to tell them, hey, listen, your child's breaking all my colored pencils. And they were like, you lying on my baby. My baby would never do that. I was like, I don't know what you think's going on in my brain, but I'm not going to stay after school to call you to complain about your child for breaking my colored pencils. If he didn't break my colored pencils, I just want him to stop breaking my colored pencils. So needless to say, the calls with the parents did not work at all. I dealt with some of the worst behaved kids I'd ever met in my entire life. I mean, kids where I'd be like, listen, buddy, can you please have a seat in your chair? And he'd look at me and be like, fuck you. And it just made no sense. The whole thing seemed like a big waste of time. Like I wasn't helping these kids, and they certainly weren't helping me, and I'm not getting paid that much. And I just felt like there was something better I could be doing with my time than babysitting all these children, trying to get them to finger paint and shit. There were times where I'd be rolling around my stupid art cart and a kid would have a temper tantrum and throw every single thing off my art cart, and there's nothing I could do. I just had to call the office and be like, please help me, and sit idly by and wait while the child throws all my shit all over the ground. You'd pick up all these things, and he'd launch them all across the classroom, throw them all across the classroom, all my bins of things. It was awesome. It was a really good time. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Not to mention, I had 27 classes a week with class sizes as big as 30 students per class. So it was complete chaos. It was total chaos all the time, and I just felt like the lack of consequence really gave me no bearing over these children. You know, normal kids, maybe you can reason with them to some degree, hold candy over their head, but we can't give them candy. We can't take away their recess. So, I mean, what incentive do these kids have? I'm thinking, like, if I was one of these kids, I would not give a shit what the teacher's saying, because I can do whatever I want, and I don't get in any trouble. What's the point? You could do whatever you want as a child in school in Montgomery County, and you don't get in any trouble. Literally, you can do whatever you want. And they make it so, like, if you get an F, it's like a 70%. You could pretty much do nothing and still pass your classes. It's ridiculous. So I don't blame the kids at all. I ate lunch every day all alone in this little art closet that was just filled with art supplies and a teeny tiny little desk stuck in there because I couldn't stand going to the teacher's lounge. All the teachers seemed like completely miserable middle-aged people that were caught in this job with nowhere to go, too much time in, too close to retirement to get a new job. They have a wife, a husband, a family, a mortgage, and it's like they were trapped. After being in school nonstop from kindergarten up through my master's degree and then being thrust right into being a teacher, I just wanted to break. I wanted to, roll the dice, take a risk, do something that was different, chase my dreams, something that wasn't guaranteed. You know what I mean? And I thought my dream was to be a teacher. I thought I wanted to be an art teacher. And then as soon as I was there and I got it, I realized it was just not for me. Maybe at a different school, maybe at a different situation, but I wasn't about to put more years of my life into it to find out. So I decided I needed to change. In the back of my mind, I always wanted to be a YouTuber, whether I was releasing music or my wrestling highlights or sketch comedy videos or animations on my channel. I really wanted something to pop off, but time and time again, it never did. I would upload it, it would get barely any views, barely any likes, and I would just go about my business. So when I was working full-time as a teacher, I thought if I dedicated as much time as I am to teaching to starting a YouTube channel, I'm sure I could get something going. And I remember it very clearly. It was a Sunday. I called one of my camera guys to help me film my music videos, Matt Offhacker. And I said, hey, did you hear about the prostitution ring that got busted in Eldersburg? And he's like, yeah, I did. I was like, we should go around and ask people what they think about it. And then to throw them off at the end of it, we should ask if they want to kiss me or make out with me. Just because, what kind of news reporter would do that? And then that same day we went out. We strapped a lavalier mic to a wooden spoon, and I hit the streets of Eldersburg filming this video called The Elite Spa. episode 1 of the Buckingham Show. And pretty much immediately after filming that episode, I was like, this is what I want to do. I'm going to film videos in this style. I'm going to travel around. I'm going to quit my job, and I'm going to try to become a YouTuber. And that next week, I went into work, went into the principal's office, signed a 6-month letter of resignation that said I would not be coming back the next school year, and I began filming for the Buckingham Show. I filmed the Elite Spa. I filmed Acting Like I'm the Man. I filmed Getting Too High at a Furry Convention. I filmed the Mardi Gras episode. I pepper sprayed myself in the face, all while I was under contract as a teacher. And I was just waiting for June 18th to come so I would drop my first video and start uploading videos every week. And I really didn't think I would get this far. I mean, 59 weeks in a row, I didn't know if I could do it. I remember when I first started being like, how am I going to come up with 52 different video ideas? But a house is built one brick at a time, so you just got to start, and then you look up and you're like, here we are, week 59 without missing an upload. I'm proud of myself. I'm proud of the viewers out there. You know, all my supporters on Patreon. They're the only reason I can continue doing this. I mean, I'd be flat broke if it wasn't for my Patreon. So thank you to my patrons, all the cold-ass writers out there. You guys are amazing. If anyone out there is considering starting a channel, my advice would be to start now. I don't know how much longer I'm going to continue as a YouTuber making videos every week, but I know I wish I had started earlier. If I could change anything, I would have gone back in time and started my channel probably in high school, probably when I was like 16, because who knows what would have happened in that time period. And people always say, I don't have enough money for a camera, I don't have enough money for a mic. I still film on GoPros. What you're looking at right now is GoPros. Right? And this is a Zoom H1N microphone. So you could get my exact setup if you get a GoPro Hero 7 and a Zoom H1N microphone for like $350, $400. Do some landscaping, do something, make a little money so you can afford a Zoom H1N mic and a GoPro and go out there filming. You know, you can learn how to use editing software on YouTube. I use Adobe Premiere. There's all kinds of tutorials on YouTube. So yeah, that would be my advice. If you want to be a YouTuber, start now, be consistent. Try to have fun with it, be creative. I mean, all the cliches, there's no secret special success to it. And maybe one day, you know, the algorithm will pick up your stuff and you'll go crazy. I mean, I've been doing this since January of 2020. And while it's awesome to be at 40,000 subscribers, I wouldn't be surprised if I was at 400,000, you know, because all that it takes is the algorithm picking up your video, and then you look up one day and you have a butt ton of subscribers. So again, thanks everyone for watching. I love you guys. Keep cold ass riding. Happy birthday to me. It's my first day being 26. I'm excited and I'm happy to be sharing this moment with you guys. So thanks for watching. Check out the Patreon. And yeah, love you guys. Well, here I am. My final day as an elementary school art teacher.
All the cool kids got their hats back. Me, I make fun of and laughed at. I want to get past that. But I'm whack and I rap at alas, always last. What an ass hat. I just want some time to find some purpose in my life in the